you've noticed, but your friends are kind of trash. Have you peeped? Never in your life take your friendship seriously. Never. Here's the reason why.
I've been on the fence, dreaming, low down, dirty, scheming.
Hi, and welcome back to As Told by S, where we talk about everything but through a faith-centered lens. Today, we're going to be talking about why you should absolutely, positively, without a doubt, never in your life take your friendship seriously. Here's the reason why. Sometimes people cling to their friendships for identity. And once you don't have friends, you don't know who you are and you don't know how to operate without your friends, or you don't even know how to be alone. Being alone might feel like a curse to some people. But based on how I grew up, I actually learned that being alone was the biggest blessing that God could give me, because it forced me to develop and nurture my own identity, right? I didn't have anybody around me that I could imitate or try to be like them. I had to figure out who I was and what I liked and how I sounded and what was of interest to me. I had to figure all of those things out by myself, as opposed to doing what a friend says or emulating what a friend says. And oftentimes you are like the people you're around most, because you start to pick up on their habits. And in that period of solitude in my life, I had to handcraft my own personality, my own likes and my own dislikes. I had to determine what my standards were, not what do you like and who don't you like, and I'm gonna follow behind you on that one. Being alone was crucial because it allowed me to only hear my own voice, as opposed to hearing a collective of voices or collective input from my surroundings and my environment. I got to shape my own understanding and my own beliefs and my own likes, my own dislikes, standards, morals. So I'm very grateful for that, because it has unmistakably created this unshakable identity that I have that is my own, that no one can take from me. Another reason why I'm grateful for my period of solitude is because I didn't have to have an audience, and that almost gave me a lack of fear. Have you ever wanted to do something but held yourself back from doing it because you're like, well, what will my friends think? Or what will my family think? Or what will my coworkers think? Or what will so and so think? I'd never had that issue. I never had that barrier of having like a core set of friends or coworkers or people that just know me, that I can say like, you know what, I don't want to do this because I'm afraid of what so and so is going to think about me. Never. Maybe what I think about myself, or maybe like I'm ashamed of what I went through or what I did, so I don't want to do X, Y, and Z, or I don't want to tell this story. But I've never had that issue of like, I don't want to do something because of how I might appear to people that I care about their thoughts and their opinions and what they think of me. It's just never been something that I've had hold me back. And I could see how that would be something that could impact like the average person, because like now that my community has expanded a little bit more, I have been faced with those decisions, like, okay, do I want to start this business because then so and so might think X, Y, and Z? Or do I want to post this content because then they might think of me from this perspective? And honestly, that is something that does weigh into my decision making process. but because of my foundational, like, what do I call it? A certain, je ne sais quoi, that I don't want to say like that IDGAF mentality, but like that core of I don't live or do things for the validation of others will always be present in me. So like it doesn't matter how much I'm thinking about my present day community, I'm never going to let their opinions and thought processes impact what I do. It's more of like an inform, like, here's what I'm doing, just so you know what's up, versus, should I do it? What do you think? Grateful. Okay. So that's another thing, another reason why I was grateful for the period of solitude. It just reinforced that backbone that I feel like a lot of people don't ever have the opportunity to develop. And I will say that sometimes that is challenging now in my marriage because I do have to weigh in my husband's decision-making authority because it's our life and not just my life. And that's something that I'm adjusting to. Another reason why I'm super grateful for my period of solitude is because people suck. Yeah, people suck. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you've noticed, but your friends are kind of trash. Have you peeped? They suck. They suck. And not because they're sucky people, but just because there are natural flaws in human nature and people are only loyal to themselves. And that is okay. That doesn't make people bad. But when you're the main character in your storyline, that can be conflicting when you have undying loyalty to Jessica and Jessica has undying loyalty to herself. May you never forget that Jesus and Judas were friends. May you never forget that Selena and her manager were friends. As a matter of fact, that was her biggest fan. And we know how that ended, right? Let that be the poster for friendships for you. Friendships are a liability. Like, because it makes you feel like, well, I love this person, so maybe I should or should not do this because of my loyalty to this person. So now you begin being disloyal to yourself in order to prove to someone else that you're loyal to them when they're being loyal to themselves. And then another like sub factor of like the people suck component is like envy, right? And I never really understood the saying like we are unequally yoked. Like I just can't, this is this is something that my brother used to say all the time, and I'd be like, what are you talking about? He would say like, we're unequally yoked and that's why we can't talk about this, or I can't talk to you because we're just unequally yoked, or you can't see my point of view because we're just unequally yoked. And let me explain to you what that means. Now that I'm much older and my life has completely transformed, I can 100% understand the unequally yoked phrase and what it means and how it manifests. There are some times that you have greatness in you and around you that other people want but do not have. And proximity in that scenario can be extremely dangerous because then when they have like the front row seat to a life that they want but can't have and don't even know the first step to manifesting, that then turns into envy. I want what you have, but I can't have it. And therefore, I'm low-key mad. I'm low-key mad at that. Like, what you have, I want, but can't get and don't know how to get. And so I'm a little jealous because why do you deserve it and I don't? What's so good about you that you have this, but I can't get it? Are you better than me that you have the life that I want? That unequal yoke thing means, like, I think you just need to hang out with people. And this is why women that, go from being like the single friend to the married friend, or go from being like the friend with no kids to being the friend with kids, they always experience like that loss of, I'm mourning the loss of my friendships. And it's because once you get to that next phase in your life, the folks that you were once like buddy with, they can't really understand it because they're not going through it with you. So from their perspective, it's like, oh, she changed ever since she had kids, or she changed ever since she got married. And it's literally because, like, yes, and did. I got married. So now there's a hierarchy, there's a structure, there are things that now need my time and attention, and I can't stay on the phone with you till 3 a.m. listening about, talking to you about your bad date, or how your friend backstabbed you, or how this guy played you, because my husband wants to sleep. And me being on the phone like, oh, don't worry, karma's gonna get him, is stopping him from sleeping. So that unequal yoke really translates to, you're going through something that I can't even understand because I don't know what that looks, feels, or sounds like. And therefore, because I can't understand it, I'm gonna equate this to, you're different, or she changed. She's not the friend that I once knew, because your loyalty system is now being redirected. Your priorities have changed. Your schedule has changed. You have changed. You're now at a point in your life where you're struggling even for time for yourself. So, of course, I don't have time for you. Sometimes you just have to find friends that are doing the same exact thing as you and in the same phase of their lives as you, because you guys can better understand each other. There are dangers in entertaining friendships where you are unequally yoked, because, like, oftentimes the person that wants the life that you have doesn't understand all that it took for you to create the life that you have, right? And sometimes they can try to sabotage that. Sometimes they can try to sabotage you. Sometimes they can try to destroy the confidence that you have in yourself, or make you second guess like the quality of friend you are, or the quality of person you are, or certain things, just because like there's something brewing in them, jealousy and envy, that they are not necessarily processing, that they can't even vocalize because it hasn't registered within their own nervous system, that I'm doing this because I want their life. Like, sometimes they don't even know why they're doing what they're doing, or why they're feeling what they're feeling. And it's not up to you to bring them down this investigative route of, I'm a good person, why are you treating me like this? Your only job is to identify the liability and move accordingly. All of the times, your friendships are going to go through phases that require reorganizing your hierarchy system. So your friend Jessica, who used to be your bestie that you talk to all the time and you spent 4 or 5 hours on the phone with her a day, maybe in this next chapter of your life, you only speak to once a week, but that doesn't mean that you don't love Jessica. We love Jessica. During our 30-minute phone call, while I'm going to pick up the kids, while I'm going to drop them off. I love talking to Jessica on the phone, but then I gotta run, and I'll talk to you next week. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think. Have you ever had a moment where you had a friendship that wasn't the best, but you tolerated it because, that's better than being alone? Let me know. How did that play out? Leave your feedback in the comments. And also subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Like I mentioned, we talk about everything through a faith-centered lens.
I've been on the fence, dreaming.